If you were with us last week, we made a confetti spaghetti. Well, this week I've got a perfect pairing. Some meatballs from a technique I picked up working at Pernicanos and one that was given to me from Poma's in OB. Let's get cooking with style. So to get this rolling, let's start with the base. We've got our spices, herbs, we've got garlic, salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning there. I've got 2 eggs in the bowl. To this, I'm going to add a finely diced 1 cup of onions. We've got Parmesan cheese. I've got nice Italian parsley that is also chopped fine, and then the breadcrumbs. I'm mixing these all up separately before they go into the beef and pork because I want all this incorporated. I don't want to find sections of it in the beef and pork. I want it to all blend nicely. So the eggs were pre-scrambled, and so you can see how everything's coming together there very nicely. This also does another thing too. This moistens up those breadcrumbs so we don't have dry breadcrumbs being incorporated into the meat. So now for the meat, let's talk about that. I'm using ground beef 80-20, so 80% lean, 20% fat, and then pork, so 2 pounds, 1 pound. And you may say this is a lot to make for meatballs, but here's the deal. This is messy. It's no fun, but it's worth it. So I'm making a double portion here so I can freeze some of these and enjoy these tonight and then have some for later. All right, so now how do you mix all that? Well, really the best way is using the tools that you were given, your hands. So I'm going to start this. It's going to take a little bit, but you'll see what it looks like in the end. You just got to dive in and get mixing. All right, we're done. Just make sure you pick everything up and fold it over on top of it to get it mixed in very, very well. All right, so here's the other part that's a little bit tricky. How do you make the right size? I like using an ice cream scoop, and I make it just a little bit larger than the scoop itself. I use a little bit of water on my hands and I just take it and press it a little bit, but don't over roll it. That's all you're looking to do. So let me do a couple more so you can see how there's a little bit over the top there. Give it a little squeeze, cup your hands and roll it around. One more just for safety's sake. There we go. Take that and roll it around. All right, I got a lot of work to do. Let me get these done. All right, so we ended up with 28 meatballs. The way to test your oil is you take a little bit of the meat, drop it in, and you got a nice sizzle. Now you notice there's a lot of oil in there. Well, that's how they cooked them at Palermo's and Poma's, so that's how we're gonna do it, and we're gonna get a nice brown on these, and then we're gonna transfer them to the sauce. So let me get some of these in here. Don't overcrowd, and we'll cook them for about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, we've been cooking these on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna give them a turn, and look at how beautifully golden brown they are cooking in that oil. And all the sides get cooked because they're in that oil, and I'm not cooking them all the way through because we're going to finish them off in the sauce right there. All right, let's do the finishing touch on these. We've got our little marinara sauce that I whipped up, and the recipe for this is, we've done it before, I'll include it with the meatballs. We're going to put the meatballs in there, and they're going to finish cooking in that sauce because these aren't cooked all the way through, and the flavor from all the garlic and meat will be imparted into that sauce. We'll let that simmer for about 20 minutes. All right, we've been simmering for about 25-30 minutes. Look how beautiful that looks. Let's plate this up and enjoy. I gotta tell you, there's a lot of different ways you can do this, so we're gonna do it just a little bit different than the traditional. I'm gonna take a couple of these nice meatballs, put them on the plate right here, and try to make this look really pretty. You know, that whole presentation thing. And we'll take a little bit of that extra sauce and put it over the top like that. And then I've got this confetti spaghetti, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the side because it's already got some really great flavors in it. I'm going to set that on top like that, and then we're going to take a little bit of our Parmesan here. I'm going to put that over the top, get that right on top of those meatballs, and then just a little bit of parsley on top to add a little bit more color to that. So kind of, yeah, it is spaghetti and meatballs, but not your traditional way, because we've got the confetti spaghetti on the side and those beautiful meatballs. All that flavor from the meat went into the sauce, and it really adds to everything. So if you'd like this recipe for the Sicilian Poma Palermo style meatballs, you can go to our website, cbsa.com/recipes. Enjoy.